This conference will now be recorded.
I started last month's meeting by accident.
Oh, I see. I was like, what is going on? My brain isn't working. I don't feel very good. I'm not going to turn on the camera because I don't feel very good.
Well, thanks for joining us. We got a quorum now. We can call a meeting to order. Is there any additions or corrections to the agenda? I would like to add under new business D, meeting format, day and time, and E, new membership. Any other additions? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
I'll motion.
Second. Motion's been made and second. Sarah?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Rich? Aye. Brian?
Aye.
Motion's passed. Regular meeting minutes from May 19th. Are we getting the new visitors guides out? A lot of them are taking road trips and stuff and getting out.
Yes. No, I still got to plan some.
Okay.
My goal is to get as many hands as I can as far as volunteers, because I've been planning out trips and logistics of trips. But some of the updates on that is not everybody wants visitors guides, even if they are a tourism center, a welcome center, or a chamber of commerce, or another city hall.
Really?
The other update I have in the past month on those is, let's call them bigger cities than ours, don't want as many as you think they would.
Oh.
Based on the data we got from Explore Minnesota, a good sized city might want 100, but the ones I've reached out to in southern Minnesota here, maybe they want 10 at most.
Oh, okay.
So there's been some not so nice updates.
Okay, well, I didn't know if you were going to report on it. I just saw it in the minutes. Okay, any additions or corrections? If not, is there a motion to approve the minutes? I will make a motion. Is there a second? Motion's made and second. Sarah?
I'm sorry. Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Rich? Aye. Brian?
Aye.
Motion's passed. Monthly financial report. Dylan?
All right, I've been told by Kim that everything's normal this month. I know last month there was a couple more things to talk about, but everything looks normal, she says.
Any questions? Comments? Concerns? If not, I'll make a motion. We approve the accounts payable. Is there a second? Brian seconds. All in favor, say aye. Sarah?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Rich? Aye. Brian? Aye. Motion's passed. Public hearings, none. Full business subsidy policy.
Yeah, so last month I said that we'll be rolling out some updates to our subsidy policy and the process of it, just because it was outdated, some of the forms and documents we had before. So I attached in the supplemental materials, for example, the application that's been revamped. It just has more up-to-date information, including, or I should say the last one, which I could have attached to for a reference, but it had subsidy programs that no longer exist and things like that. So this was just more of a simple update, and I got help from the county EDA to merge ours with theirs to get a more modern, up-to-date business subsidy application. As far as the agreement and the policy, I've found out, to my pleasant surprise, that those are contracted out to Ellers, who are the financial advisors, so they would create those forms. So I first thought I'd have to learn a lot of legal statutes regarding business subsidy processes to create a new agreement and create a new policy, but we don't have to do that. Just when the time comes, they'll do it for us. So, but this part I was able to fix up because they don't do our application.
Yep. you have to do any kind of action on this, or is this just more information?
It was just more information, but it was a new business line item that I thought was going to be bigger, but while doing it, I found it wasn't as big. So then I just moved it to old business.
Okay.
Because I thought it was going to be more businessy instead of updatey. Yeah.
Good, thank you. Any questions on that? All right, new business, oath of office for new member will have to be tabled again, I assume, since she's still not here. B, Covered Bridge Festival.
Yeah, so this one, again, I added to business because, first, the update part of it is, like I said, we have a meeting tonight at 6 PM. Things are going well. We have quite a few vendor applications coming in. We still are looking for more. We're trying to finalize the mix of vendors as well as some other line items. But one of the things I thought of is if anybody knows of any vendors and or volunteers, which I know we could use some help maybe in that area in a lot of different ways, but those are going to be some of the items that are in the next step over the next month. Just finalizing. If anybody likes any vendors, reach out to me. You can shoot me an email. Otherwise, if you know of any friends, family, things of that nature for volunteers, we're going to need a lot of those too upcoming because I think we're at the 3-month mark now coming into it. So
Okay.
that's it.
That's gonna be a one-day event, I understand.
Yep, 1-day event, no parade. Just Saturday. And next year it should be back to normal.
Are they, is it gonna be at East Park or is it gonna be down in the Covered Bridge Park?
I believe mostly down there. We were talking, Kim just said something yesterday about something at East Park, but that the festival itself for the 1 day would be at Covered Bridge Park. That's what it was.
Might do it, 2 years ago we had a festival, we did that movie night on that Friday.
Yeah.
We might still throw something together like that, because that's easy to just put together,
Sure.
but we're not sure on that yet.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yes, everything will be done.
Anything else? All right, thank you. Thanks for your work and all that too. Zeba request for assistance.
Yeah, so yesterday I attended Zeba's monthly meeting, and they have an upcoming event called First Thursdays Block Party, which First Thursdays has been around for some time, but the block
Last year we started it.
last year,
Yeah.
and then the block party is a new phenomenon.
Yeah.
So what they're trying to do is make a bigger event for their already established event, and it's going to be more of a community event. They're going to be blocking off between Dwell Local and Wild Ginger, the road there, and then, have vendors and things of that nature for community members to come on down and get food and shop and things like that. So from that meeting, Brenda volunteered to come down to talk about some potential assistance that they could use.
So we're planning this block party for August. It's our first Thursday event. And as you know, we've been doing these first Thursday events. Some have been good, some not as much. But without her Bridge Fest, we didn't have Rock the Block. So there's things that we haven't done. So we decided to have this August, make it kind of a bigger event and have it more for the community. And have it more like come back to downtown. We're still here. We're thriving. We made it. We survived, and come and enjoy, a night together. And so we're having music, kids activities, arts and craft type vendors, food vendors. So we're in the process of working on it. And of course, we were looking for some support for from the EDA. We're willing to put forth the time and the effort and of course funds for it, but we're also, there's quite a few things that we're looking for and that we're planning on doing. And so we just thought maybe if there was any funding available that EDA could help support us. Since we're trying to make it more of a community event and not just we're not just advertising shopping. We're advertising, come downtown, enjoy some music, enjoy some food, have some, and we're hoping maybe bounce house or some things for kids, things like that. So some of the things that funding we'll need that we're looking for. So I've our meeting was yesterday, so I threw this together really quickly. So of course, advertising, we're gonna do postcards just for that specific event and some posters. That's about $300 for that. Picnic tables, we're hoping to get from Dave Starr. That would be like $150. Music is $300. And then we figured we'd need at least one porta-john. So we've kind of got an estimate about $150 for that. So add that up, that comes to roughly around $900. And granted, I told the group not to be greedy because, we'd just be happy with whatever EDA could help support us with. But I just thought, at least if I come to you with some numbers, that you have some idea what we're looking at, and I'm sure there'll be other costs incurred, but right now that's kind of what some things we're looking at. So. And it's an event on, I believe it's August 5th, and it's from 4 to 7, 4 to 8, kind of, we're not really putting an end time on it, so that way, if vendors are busy, if food vendors are busy, they can stay longer if they'd like. And we are gonna block off that street. From what I understand, you guys gave it okay from like Dwell towards the bank for that section there. So, and we're kind of still in the planning stages as to where things are gonna be. We're hoping to have vendors maybe in front of our stores and then maybe have food and kids activities in that area, but they're still working on that. So that's kind of everything in a nutshell.
Comments, discussion? Any questions? As far as money budgeted, I know we've given assistance in years past on a yearly basis. Do you happen to know what we have budgeted for this? Some kind of a promotion, advertising?
Like there was some muddy water around that. Why did we stop giving them money?
Why did we stop?
Because I remember Ryan had said that technically you couldn't, yes, because we used to ask for, monies for advertising and things like that. And Ryan said that that wasn't something that could be given to us. I can't remember what the reasoning was.
Wasn't it something about being a private entity and not a like chamber? Something like that. There was some.
Which was frustrating on our part because, we didn't want to become a chamber, so we became Zumbrota Independent Business Alliance, but yet that didn't really make it for the cut of, giving funding to. Yeah, it was something like that.
And also what is decided, because like Sarah and I are both members of Ziba, can we vote on this? I don't know that you're gonna reach a quorum.
But I think I was still around during that time, and I think I was kind of at the end. We decided, yes, you were able to vote on that because we thought, what if you're part of the Lions and the Lions comes and says we need some money? I mean, then you're starting to nitpick it down to like, oh, you can't vote because it's something for the school and you're on the school board, and it just, kind of blew up. And we decided that you couldn't, you still had to vote.
Yeah.
I think that we decided the reasoning behind, what we were going to do to kind of circumvent that is that have all the ads go through the EDA director so that we could still advertise for you, but it had to go through, he would set up a page somewhere and then you could put your advertising into it, but pay for that page, the city would. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the city can only advertise for the city. The city can't advertise for individual businesses. Wasn't that what it was, Sarah?
Yes, but we decided that to circumvent that we could, set up a page, like if you're going in the women's magazine, you can set up a page that says Zumbrota, City of Zumbrota, and then advertisers can advertise in it. But there's a cost incurred to get that page. So the city was going to pay for that part so that the advertisers could have a lesser ad or pay less money to advertise in that Rochester Women's Magazine, say.
I think they did that for the Today magazine because it used to be just a banner across for City of Zumbrota. I don't know that it is anymore, but that's what it was for a while because the city helped pay for that banner and then it reduced the cost for the rest of us.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we were gonna do, but I think it kind of fell by the wayside because switching Ryan and, I don't know what happened, but it didn't, I don't think we ever did it in any other magazines.
No,
I was just talking to Kim a little bit about what she recalled about funding and all that, and she said it would have to be, if the EDA chose to do something, it would be after, and Ziva would have to submit expenses. And then you could consider it then, and it's her opinion that if you're on Ziva, you shouldn't probably vote on it, which was kind of what I was thinking as well.
So if we've got people that are, because I mean, Sarah would be on it, Lindsay's on it, how do we ever get a quorum?
Yeah, that's,
but you really weren't on then. That was back quite some time ago, but I know we discussed that at one time. And we discussed like, well, I'm on Ziba and you're on Ziba, how do we can't vote for this. Well, then we talked about, okay, so what if the Lions comes and they need some funds? And then, okay, you're on Lions, you know what I mean? And what if the VFW comes and I'm like, well, I'm a member, you know what I mean? So this could go on forever, or what if the fire department comes and you're part of the fire department, you're never going to get a quorum,
I think we had discussed it since you had, we had discussed it one other time with, I think it was in that same discussion when we were talking with Matt Rockney.
but
Something.
then it is the other part of it of giving money to a downtown organization as opposed to the community, but it's a community thing. So I think the best thing I would suggest that, you're going to do it anyway. So come back after and submit expenses. And then as an EDA, you can consider it then. In the meantime, we can do a little more legwork on all these questions that we've got. Just because I wasn't involved, we can try to figure out exactly where we ended up.
Well, that's probably the way we should go about doing it, but unfortunately, that doesn't help you guys. Because, you don't know if we're going to donate $50 or if we're going to cover $500 or if we're going to cover it all.
Yeah, it does. It's a little bit in a difficult position just because we may do, maybe make it a bigger event if we knew we had some funding, but, I understand if this is the way we have to do it, well.
So do you know, did she say how much money do we think we have if we wanted to do some sort of sponsorship? I mean, do we have $5,000 in there? Do we have
I'll be right back again.
I'm sorry.
Nope, that's okay.
Where would it come out of?
Well, promotions.
We have a line item for it. I think, I'm trying to remember how much is in there.
I thought it was around 3,000, 5,000?
Something like that.
And the visitor guide ate up a lot of that this
Yeah,
year.
I'm gonna say your visitor guy is 5,000.
But we had money from last year that we didn't use. So I think there's still money in there.
This is a line item under what? Okay.
EDA.
Under EDA?
Hmm.
So, yeah, I haven't seen it since I've been here. These are the line items that I know. I just know the EDA has a couple $100.
Yeah, we've got an
it's
entire
not-
budget where it's broken down. If we get 60,000 a year, whatever X number of dollars, we have a line item budget that tells how much we have for promotions, how much for postage, how much for salaries, how much for
Yep.
everything,
Okay.
which Kim would know that. I guess the reason I'm bringing it up is I thought if we can have an informal discussion and say, we're probably would commit to up to X number of dollars. You're not going to get it until you get done with the festival, bring us the bills the next month, and then we make a motion and pass.
Yeah. And if we kind of had an idea, like you said, we've only got $200 available, we've got 500, at least we'd have some kind of idea
Right.
what we're working, because we're trying to come up with a kind of a budget too.
This kind of still goes back to a number of years ago where, we did every year give something, as you remember. And then there became this conflict where somebody didn't want to give it until they saw the bills.
Yep.
Well, then they didn't want to bring the bills because why do we got to do that? Don't you trust us? And it got to be a big pissing contest, excuse me.
I know.
And actually, I thought that we stopped giving because I thought Ziba stopped coming to ask.
Well, they did, that too.
Yeah.
But then Ryan did tell us that technically we weren't supposed to be getting that. Yeah.
Okay.
So we did find that out, but yeah, it did kind of come down to where like, we're not going to come fight and beg for money.
Yeah,
if,
and
you
beg
know.
and
Yeah.
it was not good.
Promotional budget is $5,400. Spent 5,000 on the books.
Like 400 left.
Well, we gotta do shipping yet. I think Dylan was gonna talk about shipping here pretty soon, so there might be $100 left. Or
But didn't we
150.
have, Sarah thought that we had money from last year that was carried over. We never used.
I know there's other money for supporting the Cover Bridge Festival, Kim said. That's in there as well, but that's kind of restricted, I think.
But I'm just saying, we didn't spend all of our line item last year by far.
Yeah, I know. We didn't use that. I didn't think we used anything.
All right, well, we can put that together.
Or can we transfer money from one account to another, one line item to another? If we think, well, we're not using,
If it's not restricted, I would think you can. Then you have to consider too, other community things, like if somebody brings in a food truck and the community goes to that, or, are you setting a precedent? Are we gonna
yeah.
contribute to stuff like that too? Are we gonna, I think it's great, but gotta be careful with the precedents too. 'Cause then it'd be hard to say, no, we can't contribute to this after you did to one thing. And I think it requires maybe more consideration.
It's my opinion that no one else throws any other community things and no one else is gonna ask.
I
Just
could be,
saying.
Like,
no,
who
yeah,
else is looking to do something like this? I mean,
You're right.
you don't have a Rotary, you don't have, you barely have a Lions. I mean, there's just not a lot of groups in Zumbrota that do events.
I hate to be devil's advocate, but I would disagree with that because I think there's a lot of people in town who are doing things to get people into town. I mean, I think of the different churches and Vacation Bible Schools, they're not coming in asking for money because they're advertising or, whatever. I have not been to Ziba meetings lately, my own personal reasons. But I kind of feel like they have plenty of money.
I'm just,
I know.
Yeah,
So
I don't- I mean,
I think that's
yes,
where
and
I'm sitting kind of quiet because
yeah, and I do agree, it's not like, I hate to say this, but they do have money. There is money available. They asked for a representative to come and I said I would come ask. And I kind of said, they were like, well, we could use money for this and this. And I said, guys, I've been down this road before. You can't go in and ask for a pile of money just because you think that the city you're owed it, you're not.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, that's not others. I will say that this, and maybe you know or don't know, but this whole COVID thing has been really hard on the Ziba group. It's a little bit broken. We have different thoughts on a lot of different things. And granted, I'm not saying one's right or one's wrong, but it's definitely broken. And it's not, we're struggling to come back together again. So I'm hoping, because I was the Ziba president and I quit in October because I couldn't deal with it anymore. There were so many different, issues going on. And some businesses didn't want to be open anymore because they were so fearful. I was open continuously, just, I am here for you. And we had customers coming in wondering why businesses weren't open. We were open throughout it all pretty much. So it's been a real struggle. And for me, I'm trying to come back and trying to keep an open mind and trying to get Ziba back together to what it used to be. I mean, we're not even supporting each other hardly anymore because it's been tough. It's been a tough year for us downtown, and we've still got businesses that are still not open the hours that they used to be, and it's still a struggle. So we're trying to get through it. So I think that's why this August event is kind of important. And I'm not saying you have to give us a dime. I just thought we'd come if there's, originally I think they thought that if there was assistance through like, what is it,
The
the
recovery plan. and-
recovery.
Yeah, and those dollars will be, I think something like this would fit in there. We just don't have it yet.
And see, I think that was what they originally thought. Maybe there would be this money available through this COVID recovery plan or whatever. And that's what they were hoping to get some money through and not necessarily straight from the city. So, yeah, so I mean, it's totally, if you say, I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm just coming, trying to represent them and yeah. So we'll get through either way. Yeah.
Well, I guess I think it's a worthy organization and they have done a lot, whether they've got problems now or not. And I've always felt that the city, I think, needs a responsibility or has a responsibility to support these people because nobody else is doing it. And the city can't do it or doesn't have time to do it. And so I'm always leaning towards saying, yeah, you know what? You're doing the legwork, Ziba or whoever, and if we can give X number of dollars to help, I think we should. But it's been interesting to hear some of your comments, things I didn't understand or know. But do you, if we tabled this until our next meeting, when we could find out how much money do we have available, whether we have carryover or not, what and how can we contribute, and an amount. If we made some of those decisions, that would be July, I think 15th or something like that. I mean, is that going to be too late? Okay,
July 21st is our next meeting.
is it 21st? Okay, so that's about 2 weeks before your event.
But like you said, they're probably gonna do, I mean, they're planning it.
I know.
They're gonna do it either way,
But if they're thinking
Yes.
based on the amount of money that they're going to get from us, whether they're going to do the Cadillac version or they're going to do the Chevy version,
Yep.
That might be too late to decide. Well, we can't do what we really want to do because we don't know if we got any money, but sounds like.
But you can't count your chicken before the hatch either. So,
No.
I mean, I think they're gonna have to go with, and, and I can go back to them and just say, go ahead, plan what you want to, and there could possibly be some funding available, but we don't know at this point. And I didn't expect to know it today anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
What do you think, without holding your feet to the fire here, I mean, what would you like to see us contribute? Or what do you think Ziba, not what they'd like, but realistically?
I think it would be nice to be able to pay for like just some of the advertising, because the advertising to me is more advertising the community and advertising an event. Because I think that's the hardest thing that's, where a lot of money goes to. I mean, they've already booked the music, so they know they're going to pay for that. Porta John, if we have to get it, we'll get it. But I think the advertising, it comes down to where I always feel like the advertising is something that you don't know how to, you don't know like where to go with it and how much to do. And that's something where if we got some extra funding for advertising, we might go ahead and do the postcards and posters, but we maybe don't have enough funding to maybe put ads out in like the Red Wing paper or Rochester paper, whatever. So that's something, even if we found out on the, next month, that's something we could put out there a week before the event, So that's something where we would maybe add more to it than we maybe wouldn't have normally.
Okay.
So that's just my thoughts. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking.
And that's the current 300 expense one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that sound like a plan to everybody? So can you guys get that information and get it to us, and maybe even as soon as possible so that we instead of waiting for the next agenda to come out, so it's still fresh in our minds and say, this is what we found out, whether we have any action or not, at least we got it. And then maybe republish it again in the next month's agendas.
I can shoot it out and email it to everybody as soon as we have an update. Are we able
Yep.
to take action on it though?
No, I don't think we would take any action until our next meeting, but at least we've, I need to know how much money do we have available, potential, and whether we have money that has been and can be or was transferred from last year that we didn't use. If not, where did that money go? I think I know that, but, and then if we don't have enough money because we've got the travel brochures, can we make a transfer out of a line item that's not being used? Any other things that we should try to find out? Okay, well, I don't think we'll be doing anything, and you can report back and that we did have a discussion and that there is interest in helping out.
Yep.
We just don't know yet at this point how much and
Yep.
if we can.
Yep.
So, but we appreciate the work, and I do, and I know the committee does, that it's good to have somebody out there promoting. Anything else? Okay, thank you for coming in, Brendan. Next, new membership, or no, excuse me. Meeting format, day and time. And we had a brief discussion before we started the meeting, Sarah, but there's been some talk about, one, do we continue with this online video / Zoom meeting format, or do we go back to where we expect everybody to be in attendance? I see the benefit of both, because obviously if we hadn't had the online, we wouldn't have had a quorum, we wouldn't have had a meeting, because you, Sarah, wouldn't have been able to join us. But what do we want to do? Do we want to continue on having the option? Or do we want to say, no, we're going to have our EDA meetings in person now, membership needs to report? That's one thing. The second thing is, do we want to switch our meeting time from the 7 a.m. to an evening, or late afternoon, early evening? Did you get all that, Sarah?
Yeah. I think, I don't know what to say about the meeting, because again, I wouldn't have come in today because I don't want to get anyone sick either.
Yeah.
So, it's just nice for that, because I'm able to join. I might not be all here, but I'm somewhat with it. I don't know. And then the changing of the time, I mean, I think even if it was 8 a.m., it would be easier for people to come. 7 a.m. is really, really early for people, but then maybe that's before they go to work. But, I just don't see a lot of people don't come to these meetings very often. Is it the right time to have it? I don't know.
We went at an 8 o'clock, that's not gonna really help yours.
No, it would make it even worse conflict for me, but that's, I mean, that's-
I know, but we just,
I'd probably be in the same boat as Brian. I just can't cut it that close to, I mean, I'm the one who has to open my store for sure by 9, so.
Would it be easier for people in the evening? I don't know. I mean, 7 is fine. It seems like it's really hard for people to come there. I don't know.
well, yeah, as far as any kind of patronage, I can't remember the last time, unless they were on the agenda, that we had anybody come just for the heck of it, or because they had a concern or because they had an interest. It makes no difference to me. I can go either way. So we really need to do it so that it's more convenient for the board membership and what we think we're going to get better participation. But
Sarah, part of the conversation was that Dylan informed us that Dave Starr is interested in tendering his resignation, and then we don't have Danny attending on a regular basis or yet. So we were just, one of the thoughts was if we changed the time, would that attract other candidates as well? So.
Right. I think that that's probably true. It's hard in the morning, it's hard in the morning because people have kids going to school, people have to get to work, people, you know what I mean? And maybe it would be better. I know, but at night too, people are busy. It's just hard. I don't know what the right answer is.
I've seen better attendance at meetings in the evening.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, the fortunate thing about Wednesday evenings, at least during the school year, there's the religion classes, but not a lot of sports.
Yep.
So, like in the summer, every night it's something.
June, July is the hard part, but Jake can't be there tonight, so I'm going. I mean, if one of us can be there, that's kind of our goal, so we can. Yeah. If I know ahead of time, I can plan.
okay, what if, and can we start it next month? Trial period? What if we said we're gonna switch our meetings of the EDA to the third Wednesday, keep the day the same, but switch it to, which is better, 5:30, 6 o'clock?
I vote 6.
I don't care.
I abstain. I don't really care either.
We just have to notify the public 2 weeks prior to the meeting. So
Yeah,
if we decide today, that gives us plenty of time.
what's better for you, Brandon?
Actually, the earlier the better in the afternoon, but I don't have kids at home anymore, so.
Yeah.
Well, they're at home, but.
Well, let's do 5:30. Next month, we'll go 5:30. And do you want to set a trial period of 3 months? Or do we want to just go month by month? I hate to do that.
Let's give it a run.
I was gonna say, you might want to try each season out with it too, so you might want to do 12 months if you're doing a trial period. Because if things change from summer to winter.
Just move it for a year.
For a year?
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine with me. All right, so do we have a motion to move the EDA meetings from starting time of 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., remaining on the third Wednesday of each month to start in the month of July 2021 for 1 year?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, motion's been made and second. All in favor, say aye. Sarah?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Rich? Aye. Brian?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Next item, new membership. That was kind of tied in here, like Brian said, Sarah, from our earlier discussion informally. We need to beat the bushes. We're going to lose in Dave Starr. Our other new member has yet to shown any kind of commitment for whatever reason.
I wonder if we should talk to Dave now, because what he had is morning meetings. He's got morning meetings every morning, so that was why he couldn't make it. So maybe we talk to Dave and say, hey, looking at changing the meetings to the evenings. Maybe that's better for him. Maybe he would reconsider then.
Yeah, if he's not traveling.
He does travel a lot.
He does travel and midweek is
Yeah.
kind of when he's out.
That's true. So it might not change for him.
But I think it's worth just
Yeah,
let him know that we've changed the meeting time and if that makes a difference, but it might not. So.
I feel like he's always around, floating around.
And I don't think, I was talking to Kim about this too, I don't think there's anything in the EDA bylaws that if you miss a certain number of meetings, you're basically off. Other ones there is, but EDA, I don't think there is, so
I thought there was. I thought 3 in a row you were,
that's usually
Oh,
what it is.
geez.
Yeah, but 3 in a row without
3 in a row and
letting
you're
anybody
done.
know, so.
But it was kind of like, yeah,
Well, I guess
I've been
if
on
you want an
committee.
easy out, just skip a meeting.
And not letting anybody know is the,
Yeah.
except after the second one, we come and get you.
yeah.
Pull you out of bed,
Right.
drag your butt down
You're
here.
not in
Or
bed.
call you so you can join virtually.
Call you and maybe whether you're sick in your hospital bed. Anyway, okay, so do you want to reach out to Dave? Okay, and I guess I would encourage everybody to rack your brains, see if there's somebody that we can twist their arm and,
How many people can be on the board? On the EDA?
I think it's 4.
4 plus the 2 representatives.
4 plus the 2 representatives from the
Okay. So
city
we kind
council.
of have to know what Dave and Danny are doing before you even put a feeler out there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and I believe that you guys can have business owners that don't live in Zumbrota on your board also. That's something to keep in mind too. I thought I had heard that a while back.
Zumbrota business owners that don't potentially live here.
I thought I had heard that.
Oh, really?
We
So
can-
somebody that lived in Goodhue that owned a business in town, they could be on it?
That's, I'm more than 50% sure that that's what I heard. But we can look into that too. So that broadens it a little for you.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Reports, update. I'm sorry.
No, go.
Did I miss something?
Nope.
Well,
All right.
didn't you want to see if you want, we didn't decide if we're going to stop doing the go-to meetings.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We
did we
can,
vote on the changing? We did, didn't we? Okay. All right, what do you want to do with that? Go-to meetings?
They're only in place, well, you said during the emergency order.
right, yep, so we can keep going with them at least for now until the emergency orders are done. And then we may even be able to in some format after that, but for now, we can if we want to.
Do people typically communicate with one of you, whether can be here or not?
Yes, no, I mean.
Like if
usually
somebody
it's very-
requests the meeting, like, hey, I'm gonna be out of town, can we run it this way this month? And go by a meeting basis, or?
Most of the time it's a surprise when people don't show up to things, like planning and zoning too.
Yeah.
But it's usually if I go check my computer in the morning, I'll find one person's email, but it's never,
Yeah.
the week before or something.
I request that my park board tells me if they're gonna be here online or not coming at all.
That's the easiest way to do it.
Then I can make sure, because we have to have at least one person in the building.
Yeah.
But my park board is pretty much all here. There's 2 that, no, last time I think it was just 1 that called in. So everybody's kind of making their way back in.
Because, I mean, you give us a week, well, Friday usually before, but.
Yeah.
I mean, you give us plenty of time to notify you, yeah, I'm not gonna be there. I need to be virtual, or I'm gonna be there in person.
Well, the other part of this discussion is what James brought up yesterday. Our go-to subscription will be ending. Is this through James or is this one ours?
Well, James has got it now, but we're gonna re-up our.
Re-up it. I was gonna say.
Brandon's gonna do that, so, because we're gonna keep that format for
Yeah.
council meetings for now.
Because the other thing I think about as far as money saving costs, this costs money every month. If somebody's sick, they could just speakerphone in.
Sure.
Have to be on video if we wanted to save $40 a month or whatever it is.
Yeah, $40 was for 2 subscriptions, so you think it'll be,
Yeah. it could be less than
25.
that, I'm not sure.
Sure.
But they have the flexibility of offering people to call in like that is.
That's the only thing I like about it, but obviously the costs outweigh that. But just the flexibility of, if I know I'm going to be gone, but I'm still, if I'm out of town, but I'm still available to call in or log in, I can still attend. So I like the flexibility, but I think it shouldn't be the last minute type of thing. It should, like Lindsay said, it should be able to let you know.
Yeah, you can
ahead of time.
RSVP.
Yeah.
Like, that's what responsible adults.
Yeah. Calendar, so you can hit accept.
That's what we learned from our teachers, didn't we?
Well, all right. Should we just leave the meetings format the present way we have it, continue on until the emergency proclamations end, and then decide at that point? Does that sound good, Sarah?
Sure.
All right, so I don't think we have to take any motion or action on that. We'll just continue the format, but it'll be a new time. So now move on. EDA owned lots.
Yeah, so a couple updates here for the EDA owned lots in the Jacobson Business Park, if we're familiar, right off 22nd. So the street behind McDonald's. There's 2 EDA owned lots. I was reached out to last week by CoStar, which is a commercial listing service, just to see if we had any inquiries or updates because it hasn't been updated on their website in over 2 years. To which, since I've been here, there's been no updates. But one of the things I wanted to bring this up was just to ask everybody, when was the last time there was interest into the properties? What's the story?
Right, I think,
Last fall.
I think there's been interest. The sites necessarily didn't fit, like the recycling business, I think, was shown the bigger lot, but it wasn't quite big enough, I don't think.
Sure. Yeah.
So, so it's been shown, there's been interest, that type of thing. It's just, it hasn't been a fit.
Yeah.
Either we didn't think it was a fit or the client didn't think it was a fit, so.
Okay. I was gonna say the other way I could check this is by logging into the old CoStar account, but that's a monthly subscription, which hasn't been renewed in some time since it was input. So I don't want to start a new subscription for that because I don't think there's much interest. If we had more inventory of land, then it would be advantageous. But for 2 lots, which one of them is not appealing, let's call it, because there's an easement across it to the water, what's it called, Tier 1 water? Is that what it is? They just have a driveway through it. So you're not gonna be able to sell that lot without making someone mad. So, but I figured I would not know the story of it without asking. So I wanted to update my update and then get an update from everyone else.
Okay, so they're basically interested because they wanted you to sign up for their listing.
I think so. That's what it came down to, but
It's not like they have somebody that says, hey, we're interested in those lots. You get a hold of.
correct. I think the other thing is there's probably an algorithm that if somebody hasn't reached out or updated something in 2 years, they reach out to you just to see if there's changes because, we're taking space on their website for something that could potentially have been sold and we didn't update them, even though they would have been updated for that anyway. But yeah, it's more like that.
Okay.
But then they do want, the sales part of it too. But I don't think that would be a wise move with just 1 lot.
Okay. Anything else on that?
Nope.
B, update Java Junction.
Yeah, so the larger part of the update is at the bottom, but so we have a new coffee shop in town. I don't know how much that's been brought up or if people have heard of it, and it's not open yet, but it's behind the Speedway and the DQ, that building, what used to be the fitness center, I've been told. So that's gonna be a new coffee shop. They're currently working out there. If you've driven past there, you can see all the work that they're kind of doing. One of the things, the reason why I put this on here is because 2 or 3 times he's asked for assistance financially, but I have yet to approach that conversation because he needs a lot more. He doesn't even have a building permit yet. He's out there working. So we shouldn't be giving help to someone who's not abiding by step 1, step 2, So I think if he got all his ducks in a row, there could be more conversations about assisting with this or that. But I thought I'd offer that update because it might be a future thing.
Okay. So he might,
He comes physically to the board.
yes.
Which one? Todd?
Whoever's looking.
Todd? There's Todd and Raymond are the two of the owners.
Whoever wants to come and talk about what assistance they're requesting and why.
But normally they come and ask for assistance before they even start the project.
Well, that's the
So we
other
kind of
thing.
got the cart before the horse here. It's like Zeba, you know?
You'll be fine with or without the assistance.
Okay.
Everybody just wants the assistance, but I don't even want to give them an application for something when I need the building permit. I need
Right.
plans and I need to do the planning and zoning aspect of.
So you haven't even met with him, so you don't know if he's thinking tax increment or if he's just,
Later, he wouldn't probably qualify for tax increment just because of there's not many employees. It's not, he's not building a new building. He's just doing a remodel and doing a coffee shop. What he would probably need, which would not even come from us, would come from the county, is like waiving permit fees and things of that nature. I mean, that could go a ways to help. Otherwise, I don't know what else program can be initiated out of our revolving loan funds, for example, if we could do things like that. I don't know. So I'd have to look into it more because, like I said, he's good to go. He doesn't qualify for the major subsidies. It would be something on a smaller scale.
okay.
No, I like the fact that you're not entertaining anything until
Yeah, I just,
everything falls in place, so.
yep,
But doesn't, like you said, doesn't mean that's,
yeah,
we wouldn't look at something, but
no, I agree.
once it's submitted the proper,
Yep,
He's waiting on his architect right now, last I heard.
yep.
Kitchen plans as well, so.
So the exercise place, that's gone?
Yeah,
To Dairy Queen?
Yeah, but I didn't know. I mean, I don't stop there and do yoga or anything.
I don't think it's gone.
No.
I think they're using part of the building next to the salon. I think she rents that also. I think I remember her saying they were gonna bring a couple machines.
I think they're in the below Roxanne's.
Oh,
place.
exactly what she meant.
no,
it's stitches.
they're in that building across from the apartment building. There's the city-owned lot between Wild Ginger, and then on the northwest corner, there's a multi-unit building. It's not that big, but there's a few different businesses in there. She's in there but doing the same capacity of what she was doing before. I don't know.
The one where Jim's barber shop used to
I
be?
believe there's a barber shop there as well.
Yeah, well, in the, yeah.
That's what I've been told. But she's had this location closed since last October, November, December, somewhere in that timeline, I've been told.
I don't get out much.
And yeah,
Yeah.
Coffee shop's gonna have call-in ordering, so you just go park and they bring it out to you, and they're gonna have the drive-through, and so traffic flow will be interesting out there, but at times.
What's the easement on that one?
It's always been bad.
That'll be really interesting.
Yes,
Get some more orange snow fence up.
yeah.
More
that
painted
one's-
lines and orange cones.
Last I heard, that one's going to court soon,
Oh, my
Uh-oh.
God.
and then,
We're
but,
gonna let it go that far.
but Todd and Raymond have a good relationship with the Speedway people, so.
they don't know who it
Shouldn't
is.
affect,
Yeah,
not being, doesn't overlap Bing's property.
other than well traffic, the backup, the drive-through. Yeah, what I'm hoping is they're different hours, different busy hours, so.
Another update on that area, Subway's gonna be getting a new drive-through. Yep. They're gonna be putting in a permit soon. But I'm unfamiliar with the owner.
It's much, much better than what it was.
That's what I've heard too.
But they're gonna open up that drive-through. They don't want to use the current access easement. They want to install a new one. So then I told them, essentially good luck in nicer ways, but they can reach out, because that'd be a civil matter between the two owners of Speedway and the DQ'd Subway building. But I'm sure they found out that that's probably not gonna happen. They wanted it on the front, so the south side of the two parcels. But the other thing is that's MDOT's land, so that's another good luck. Got to reach out to the state to get right-of-way access on a major highway. So,
Oh, yeah, they want to go outside of the Speedway parking lot.
yeah,
With the lane.
Oh,
because there is a good chunk of land, I mean, especially on that side compared to the other side. So it's one of those things that makes logical sense, but asking the state to give even 5 feet for a subway drive-through is not something that that'll set a precedence too.
Yeah, that whole thing has been a mess since they started, you know?
Yep.
I mean, that whole,
Severson subdivision is what it's called.
is it?
That one and the Jacobson Business Park are patchwork planning. It was done by private entities is what I could see. And then parcels were added as needed, which
Yeah.
is not how you do things because those are a mess, both of them.
But the whole entrances and exits and.
Yep.
It's kind of taking your life in your hands when you drive in there because you never know who's coming from which direction. But anyway, let's wrap her up here. Now, update housing summit.
Yeah, so one other update is, so Goodhue County does an annual housing summit. I don't believe they did it last year for 2020 reasons, but they're doing that again this year. And I'm a part of a housing subcommittee. So just as far as an update, it's tentatively planned to be an 8 to 10 week virtual conference still, with 1 hour meetings / presentations. And one of the things I thought is if I learn any EDA type of fun facts or things that from the county level, I'll update it as I get those, but that's just a simple update.
All right, good. Thank you. Anything else?
Sarah, do you have any update on the new restaurant?
Not really, because our architect has Alzheimer's.
Oh, no.
Yes, I feel so bad for him. He is a brilliant man and now we're having trouble getting him to stop working, and he obsesses about things that don't need to be thought about. It's really hard. We don't know what we're gonna do, actually. Because I don't know what to do. So we're working on that. As soon as we can we're ready to go. It's just, we've got to get him to stop nitpicking the drawings for no reason.
Sure.
Sarah, is Vault 224 part of that building?
Yeah. That's going to open on Friday.
I saw that. What's the deal of that? It's just a grand open house, but it's not open permanently. Is it going to be a 1-day deal or is it going to be open Friday from now on?
I'm not sure what the hours are going to be. It's not going to be open all the time. There'll be specific hours that they'll post.
Yeah. And then
probably when the restaurant gets open, there'll be more of a, we'll have to work around the construction of that too. So we'll have to see. But he wanted to get it open because people are just nutty about it. So.
Yeah. And who is the owner? Who is he that we keep referencing?
Oh, it's my Greg that's
Greg.
Opening it, but Barney and I technically own it.
Okay. So because I'd like to go to that. I've never met Greg or Barney or anytime a new business, because we were just talking about that last month as far as being aware of new businesses that come into town for, recognition down the line. And that's noon Friday?
Yes.
Cool. Well, if anybody wants to go play games Friday, we can meet up. Yeah. Cardboard games, correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah, type of.
Yeah, board games, and then a lot of Magic and they're kind of fantasy games with miniatures and then some cards. I don't understand it all. I own something that I know nothing about.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Sarah, for joining us and helping us along.
Sure. I'm going to go back to bed now.
All right. Me too.
Wait, one more thing. Sorry. I just thought of this. With these American Rescue Plan Act dollars, we will be applying for that soon here in the next couple of days. Those dollars will be here sometime in July. I'm going to put together a committee to talk about how to allocate dollars. It was really tough last time. We had to do it in a hurry and but we think we need more thoughts. So what I want to do is kind of grab someone off of each of the boards, EDA, Park Board, Planning and Zoning. And so I'll be sending out an email to everybody just to see, if there's an individual who's interested in being on another committee, to talk about where we should allocate just about $400,000 of federal dollars. There'll be a lot of guidance. There's all kinds of guidance and it's changing daily. But anyway, we gotta get the committee together and start talking about it. We've got till 2024 to decide where to put the dollars, and then till 2026 to spend them. So we've got some time, but we need to get it going.
Maybe when you send out that email regarding the Zeba things and that I requested, you could also emphasize the change in starting meeting time. Just for everybody. All right. Thank you, everyone. Meeting's adjourned.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right, take care, Sarah.
Yep, thanks.
It's beautiful out there again.
Yeah.
I usually, yeah, we've got the pool going, so I usually find an excuse